問題，我想要問 Chris 牧師的就是，牧師，你覺得像教會的牧者或者教會的全職同工，他們適合開發副業嗎
？One of the things that people ask is, what should my source of income be, and how do I create financial wealth? And one of the things that we encourage people to do out of the book of Ecclesiastes is actually have several sources of wealth. So when maybe I'm working at a church, maybe I'm working down at the burger stand, that I don't have to relegate my wealth to one source. And so I think that one of the things that we want to learn to do is in fact, I challenge everyone to have at least 5 sources of income. Now they don't have to all generate, tons of money, but I think that everyone should actually have several sources of income. And I think that one of the exciting and challenging things of life is actually being creative about your wealth. Maybe you're a pastor, or maybe you're a staff member, and you love art. And it's like, okay, well, I can do art, but maybe there's a way for you to teach art. Or maybe there's a way for you to sell your art. Maybe there's a way for you to create websites to sell other people's art. I mean, sometimes I think that we just think too small, and it's like, and we think about is what I'm doing every day. I'm working as a pastor's assistant, or maybe I'm working as a maintenance person, or maybe I'm working as a pastor, and like I relegate my income to this one thing I'm doing. When a lot of times, what I have to learn how to do is monetize my passion. How can I monetize my passion? How can I create a business around things that I'm actually excited about? So I really want to encourage you to read this book, Poverty, Riches, and Wealth, and read about how to create several sources of wealth. One of the questions that people often ask me is, when you have a nonprofit organization like a ministry, what do you do when you have extra money? Like you've paid all the bills and there's money left over. What can you do with that money? And I want to say it's really important that you stay inside the charter and the mission of your nonprofit organization. As a matter of fact, in America, and I'm sure it's this way in Taiwan, Singapore, all over Asia and Europe, when you develop a nonprofit, you actually have to tell your government, this nonprofit is actually for this specific purpose. And oftentimes in America and all over the world, people get in trouble because they'll take that money, the extra money, and then maybe they'll go do something good with it, but it has nothing to do with the charter, the mission of that corporation, and they find themselves in trouble. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that if you're going to do something different than the charter, then you have to go back, at least in America, and I'm sure it's this way in Asia, you have to go back and you have to appeal to your government and say, hey, we want to change our charter, we want to add this thing, we want to add this additional thing to our mandate, to our mission, to our charter, and our board has agreed to it. And then they'll often say yes or no, and then you can use that extra money for that. But the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to raise money for one thing, have extra, and use it for something else. Like no government around the world is going to feel good about you raising money for one thing and using it for something else in a nonprofit, in any kind of an organization like that.